This is the book of Isaiah 32 and verse 9, and it reads, Rise up, ye women that are at ease. Hear my voice, ye careless daughters. Give ear unto my speech. Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women. For the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come.
And with the breaking news, a stranger raped a woman in uptown Charlotte after she went to last night's Panthers game.
A police source tipped Channel 9 off about this attack today, telling us it happened along West Moorhead Street near the stadium in a wooded area near the railroad bridge. Channel 9's Genevieve Curtis is live out there tonight where police are still looking for that attacker. Genevieve?
Yeah, absolutely, Scott. We are just 700 feet from the Panthers Stadium. In fact, you can make it out between the trees here along Moorhead. There were so many people were gathered last night, and police saying that one of those fans was walking alone after getting separated from her group when she was attacked in this area. Police say they got the call around 12:30 this morning. They are calling this an egregious stranger rape. They responded here along Moorhead, but say that the woman was pulled behind a building and into this wooded area next to the railroad bridge. They don't believe that the man had any weapons on him. Investigators say this attack and kind of attack is rare. They've had officers out all day long gathering video from nearby buildings. They say that the Panthers have given them full access as well. Now, the description of this suspect is vague. He is described as a thin male wearing a light-colored shirt and appeared to be homeless. Police say they hope that that might jog someone's memory since there were so many people around after the...
All right, Shalom. Call hello, Yamla, Allah Hayanawa Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua. All praises to our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushua, the God of the heavens and the earth, and of you 12 tribes, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You comprise the 12 tribes of Israel. You are the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, not to exclude your confusion of faith brothers, also known as Israelite foreigners. They're scattered amongst the heathen. So, double honors be to the elders and apostles as well, who are the true teachers of Israel today. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, Habayath Madabadah, the house of David. The brothers is laboring to make their call of election sure on the four corners of the earth, day in and day out. To you I say shalom, peace, blessings, and salutations. And to the Akim and Akwathim who listen and believe on Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, to you I say shalom. So it's the brother Sagalah coming back with a lesson through the spirit and power of the Most High Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Rakakwadash. In the name of the Holy Spirit, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to those that have eyes to see and ears to hear through the Holy Spirit, through the Rakakwadash. So I'm going to jump right into it. I started off in the book of Isaiah 32, verse 9 and verse 10. And I started there because, you know, when you read this article, I'll go on to reiterate what was said. You see the title, the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department says a woman was sexually assaulted after leaving the Panthers game in Uptown. So this was yesterday after the Thursday night game between the Panthers and the Atlanta Falcons. So this came out today, October 30th. And it says a woman who attended the Carolina Panthers game Thursday night was sexually assaulted while walking alone in Uptown. According to investigators, the woman was walking along the 500 block of Moorhead Street around 12:30 a.m. following the Panthers game against Atlanta when a stranger approached her and raped her. It says Charlotte Mecklenburg police said the woman had attended the Panthers game. Officials said the woman was pulled behind a building and into a wooded area next to the railroad bridge. They don't believe the stranger had any weapons. Police said the woman gave a vague description of the suspect, saying he appeared to be homeless. He appeared to be a homeless man and was wearing a light-colored shirt. Investigators said that this kind of attack is rare, and they have had officers out all day Friday gathering video from nearby buildings. They said the Panthers have given them full access as well. Now look, right here it says the investigators said that this kind of attack is rare. So this is a false sense of security. That's why in Isaiah 32, 9 and 10 it says, Rise up, ye women. It says, Hear my voice, you careless daughters. It says, Many days and years shall you be troubled, you careless women. So That's being reiterated. And why? Because there's a false sense of security here in Babylon, which is America, in the scriptures. There's a false sense of security. There's a false sense that the police is always gonna, protect you. You had thousands of people leaving the stadium at one time, and this happened, showing you that there's a false sense of security here in Babylon. See, this place, Babylon, which I have coined Funland, before long, this is not going to be the joyous city anymore. The place of, and we've already seen that the mirth is leaving this place through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So that's the false sense of security they always want to give, saying this is rare. This is rare. Now, why do they want to? Why do they want the people, the so-called citizens, to believe that? Because they want them to stay asleep, so they can continue to push their agenda and get you to be asleep, right, to taking a chip. That's the ultimate end goal. So I'm going to start from the top of Isaiah 32, because this is, when you read from the top of this chapter, it really goes into, how there's a false sense of security, in this land, and how the Most High is about to turn the heat up on this place. And we're slowly seeing that, because, this one rape, is a very small, very light thing when you really go into the scriptures and see what the Most High says is going to come in these days that we're leading up to. This is just the beginning of something that's going to be beyond human comprehension. The time of Jacob's trouble. The Bible says it's going to be like no other time that there's ever been on the earth. And that's the time that we're coming into. But most of the people don't know, because they're asleep. They're completely asleep. And that's why Yahweh Shah said he's coming like a thief in the night, because he's coming like a thief in the night to those that are asleep. Because the elect are waking up, and are hastening, watching and praying and getting themselves together through the Spirit, to try to have a true chance at salvation. Not living as if, like the scriptures say, don't use your liberty for an occasion of the flesh. Not living thinking that everything's going to turn back around, because this is the beginning of the end. It's not going to turn back around. It's just going to go into another phase of, pushing further into Jacob's trouble, because the Most High promised that this would happen, and we are in that time. So from the top of Isaiah 32:1, it says, behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment. That king is speaking of Yahweh Shai. Hamashiach Yahweh Shai is that king. So when the kingdom of heaven is established on earth, this is going to be fulfilled. Yahweh Shai is going to reign in righteousness. And those princes or the princes of the power, speaking of the 144,000 on down, those are the princes that's going to rule in judgment. And the man, it says, now it's telling us, it's foreshadowing how it's going to be. And then it's going to go back and let us know, what's coming for it to be what it's saying in Isaiah 32:1, for that to happen. Now it's going to tell you what's going to happen in order for that to happen. For Yahweh Shai to reign in righteousness, and for the princes of the power to rule in judgment. And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a rock in a weary land. So a man is going to be a hiding place from the wind and tempest. So from these storms is going to come, these spiritual storms that the Most High is going to send out. It says, and as rivers of water in a dry place, and this is speaking about an Israelite man. We'll get a precept here in a second. So these rivers of water in the dry place is speaking about what? It's speaking about the fact that an Israelite man is going to be like that, which is a metaphor or a similitude. So the men of the Lord are going to be like water in a desert, or as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. They're going to be the protection that people are going to seek, starting with the woman. Isaiah 4:1. That's why Isaiah 4:1 is so key, because Isaiah 4:1 is a reflection of the Israelite man, starting with the elect man being, a hiding place, being that water in the desert, being that shield, that protection through the Most High. Verse 3. Well, before I go to verse 3, let me deal with this here. Verse 2, it says, a man shall be more precious than fine gold here in Isaiah 13. That's a precept. Because it says a man's going to be a hiding place. A man. Now, who is that talking about? The elect man. I'm going to start at Isaiah 13 and 11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. So the world is getting punished. It's the time that the world's going to be getting punished. But at the head of that, the wicked, the children of the wicked down to the 2/3. It says, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, which Esau is the proud of the earth. And I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold. So Isaiah 13 and 12 says, I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. So that man is speaking of the Israelite man. The Israelite man, starting with the elect Israelite man, because 2/3 of our people are not, going to be precious than fine gold, because the scriptures tell you they are likened unto wood and earth. So the man that's going to be more precious than fine gold, speaking of the Israelite man, who is of the elect, the man of Yahweh Ba Shem Yahushua. So those are the men that's going to be more precious than fine gold, is the elect men, in this day. So let's go back to Isaiah 32 and 3. And the eyes of them that see shall not be dim, and the ears of them that hear shall hearken. So the eyes of them that see, which are the only ones that's going to be able to see, is going to be those of the elect. Now, some are going to see the truth, but they're not going to be able to perceive it. The 2/3 won't be able to receive it, So in this day, the eyes of the people they're going to be able to see clearly who the men of the Lord are, because it tells you in the Apocrypha that then shall they know who are my chosen. This is going to be the day that will be known, because the chosen are going to be protected. So the people are going to see it. They're going to seek unto those who are protected. They're going to try to seek refuge. But if they're not of the elect, the Most High is not going to allow them, to be able to get that protection that they will seek. And it says the ears of them that hear shall hearken. See, it won't be no scoffers in this day. It won't be no one, scoffing and coming against the word and etc. That's going to be gone. And that's almost gone now. Verse Isaiah 32 and 4. The heart also of the rash shall understand knowledge. Because you're going to have, many that's going to come back into the fold who don't have that understanding right now. And it says, and the tongue of the stammerers shall be ready to speak plainly. The vile person shall no more, shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. And who is the churl? Look up that word churl, just common definition. It means an impolite and a mean-spirited person, a peasant, and Esau is a peasant because he's not promised the kingdom of heaven. He sold his birthright. And some more synonyms is barbarian and Neanderthal. And both of these are indicators of Esau. They indicate who he is. The barbarian and the Neanderthal is speaking of who? Speaking of Esau, who he is known as the caveman. He's the scientific Neanderthal. He's actually the caveman. More synonyms, fool. Now, isn't Esau known as the children of fools? Job said that. Job, the 30th chapter, I believe. Children of fools. Scriptures also say in Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, I believe, that as for my people, children are their oppressors and women rule over them. The children of fools is at the head of that, rule over the children of Israel. So that's Esau. Now, when you go in the blue letter, I believe that word is H3596. It's Kayalah, I believe it is. And that word is fraudulent. So this word churl goes into being fraudulent, deceitful, and crafty. And that's the crafty counsel of Esau. He's a deceiver on the earth, deceitful, and he's a fraud. Isaiah 2, Salakia. Revelation 2:9 and 3:9. Those who say they are Jews or not are the synagogue of Satan. It also goes into being a scoundrel and to be connive. And that scoundrel gets into being a dishonest, one that lacks morals and scruples, a reprobate, All synonyms of Esau: a swindler, you know, a dog, a rat, a snake in the grass, and he's likening us to a snake, you know, one that lacks morals and scruples, one that lacks integrity and character. So that's Esau. Verse 5. Isaiah 32:5, and the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. So Esau's not going to be bountiful anymore. He's going to lose, his power. He's going to be taken out of power. Verse 6, for the vile person shall speak plainly, and his heart shall work iniquity to practice hypocrisy. So Esau is also known as the hypocrite. The Lord said he sent us to a hypocritical nation. And Esau is that hypocrite. And to utter error against the Lord, he's constantly uttering error, speaking lies against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry. And that's what he do. He's doing that to continue to keep you Israelites destroyed by keeping you away from the truth of who you are and who your power is and what time we are in and what's about to happen. He don't want you to know that. And he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. So this is the wicked of the earth. Now, verse 7, Isaiah 32:7, the instruments also of the churl are evil. And we know one of those main instruments that the churl, the wicked of the earth, once again, that barbarian, that churl, that Neanderthal, the children of fools, that fraud, that deceitful one, that one that uses crafty counsel, that dishonest one that lacks morals, that reprobate, that swindler, that dog, that rat, that snake in the grass, that conniving devil. The instruments also of the churl, that churl man, are evil. And this instrument, one of the main instruments, as we know, is the mark of the beast, which is the RFID chip that he's going to try to, make mandatory. And he's going to try to chip the whole world with. It says he deviseth wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words. And he's going to do that with what? Using all, ways of deceit and lies to be able to try to trick, the nation of Israel, which 2/3 he's going to have already in the bag, but to try to trick the righteous, those who are actually going to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushua. But he's not going to be able to through the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. It says, even when the needy speaketh right. Verse 32:8, but the liberal deviseth liberal things, and by liberal things shall he stand. At the head of that are the women, the women in Babylon, and the women on the earth for that matter, but starting here in Babylon and down to the Israelite woman. The women, stand for these liberal things. And our women are at the head of that, being liberal. They're for these liberal programs. They're for these liberal politicians. They're for these liberal ways. The scriptures say, use not your liberty for an occasion of the flesh. And what do our people do? Start with the women. They do. That's why you see this example of this woman being sexually assaulted. Because they live in a liberal society where they think the police is always going to protect them. And you had all these people coming out. No one could stop it. Nothing was done to stop this. So how much more you think in the time of Jacob's trouble, where there's going to be lawlessness and sedition among men and all hell breaking loose? This is going to be commonplace. This is going to be going on every minute of the day, in fact. So that's that false sense of security here in Babylon. So Isaiah 32:9, rise up, ye women that are at ease. The Lord is calling the elect women back. And he's calling them by telling them to hear my voice, hearken unto the prophets. That's the voice of the Lord. Ye careless daughters, because the women are still careless. They still dress any kind of way. They still go about living and moving in society however they want to, thinking that, that they can't be touched, that nothing's going to happen to them, that terrible times are not upon us. They don't believe that perilous times are upon us. I'm going to get that precept here in a second. It says, give ear unto my speech. And how you do that? By hearkening unto the prophets, by listening to the men of the Lord. Many days and years shall you be troubled. And we've been in that time period of many days and years of great trouble. And now it's getting more and more, grave. It says, ye careless women, the vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. So the things that you think, these jobs and all the, the high profile living, the comfort creature items, the big houses, the 700 series Beamers, the Mercedes, once again, the nice jobs, the accolades, the big houses, the money, the material wealth, all that's leaving. Because you got an eviction crisis and you got a crisis of people who have lost their jobs. So more and more, you see more and more tent cities, so crime is going to go up, etc. So this is going to be more commonplace. These types of crimes is going to be nothing here in a little bit. Verse 11, tremble. So the Bible tells you to tremble. So if you women had real fear of the Lord, you'd be trembling right now and getting right. Ye women that are at ease, you will come out of that ease. You come out of laying down in the bed with Babylon and come back to serving the Most High and getting your ass together. Be troubled. You're supposed to be troubled because this is a time of trouble. Jacob's trouble. Ye careless ones. So those that are not troubled, meaning understanding the times, they remain to be careless. Strip you. The Lord said he's going to strip you and make you bare, which is Isaiah the 3rd chapter. When he said he's going to take all the things that, the Israelite woman finds most comfort in, he'll take all those things from her and make them bare. And gird sackcloth upon your loins. It's a time of mourning. Verse 12, they shall lament for the teats. And those teats are all those programs and all the things that's allowed the women to live liberally in a society. For the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine, for everything that's been set up. Those are the pleasant fields and the fruitful vine. The things that have continuously been set up. Like, for instance, you got a lot of these women who are on, government housing, Section 8, the SNAP program, EBT, etc. All of these things are the fruitful vine and the pleasant fields. Well, that's getting ready to be taken away. Verse 13, Isaiah 32 and 13. Upon the land of my people shall come up thorns and briars, yea, upon all the houses of joy in the joyous city here in Babylon. That is the joyous city. So it's going to be thorns and briars. So everything that you took comfort in, now it's going to be, a thorn to you. It's going to be a trap. It's going to be hardship because that's going to all get cut off real soon. Because Babylon is falling. Now, let me get another precept or two and close it out. This is going into the fact that when you read 2 Timothy 3 and 1, that we are coming into perilous times. So I'm going to read 2 Timothy 3 and 1. It says, this know also that in the last days, which we are in the last days, pertaining to prophecy, perilous times shall come. And the word perilous, when you look it up, common definition, perilous means times that are full of danger. And we're seeing that. Evil, risky. It's going to be too risky, before long for women to be even outside. Unsafe, treacherous, uncertain times. Losing jobs, losing everything. Uncertain times. So this is what's coming. It says difficult. And I found this right here to be very eye-opening. It says a time of being exposed. And when I saw this, it led me in the spirit to this precept right here. So it says perilous times are going to come. 1 Peter 3 and 7. As soon as I saw it said exposed, and it was speaking about the women, here in Isaiah 32, it led me to 1 Peter 3 and 7. As soon as I saw exposed, it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife or the woman, which those words are interchangeable, as unto the weaker vessel. So the woman is the weaker vessel. But in this society, it's not, that's not the energy that's being pushed out. The energy is being pushed out as the woman is the head. The woman is whatever she want to be. The women are the leaders. They are the innovators and creators and so on and so forth, which society doesn't reflect that. That's not reflective of society, by and large. So the Bible says the woman is the weaker vessel. So coming back to the fact that a woman is a weaker vessel, speaking about how she's going to be exposed as the weaker vessel in this day. So let's go back. 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And those perilous times are speaking about the terrible, tumultuous times of Jacob's trouble. Let's read a little bit more. 2 Timothy 3:2. For men shall be lovers of their own selves. And we see that through social media, etc. The people in the society love themselves. Covetous. All they want to do is covet things that don't belong to them and be warners in society, and takers, boasters, proud. You see nothing but pride everywhere. Blasphemers, liars, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. The people on this earth, by and large, are unthankful and unholy. The scriptures speak about how the Most High said that such in a lifetime have received benefits and have not known me. Verse 3, without natural affection. See, so how much more as you see the time of Jacob's trouble ramp up, that people are going to be without natural affection. Truce breakers, the same thing as a liar. False accusers, incontinent, fierce, despisers of those that are good. They're going to be against righteousness. The people are against righteousness. They don't want to hear, see, or be a part of anything that's righteous. That's why the scriptures say, my people are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge. So that lines up perfectly here. Despisers of those that are good. And things that are good. Traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasure more than the Most High. That's why you're going to see the crime and death and destruction on the highest levels ever. Because the people are lovers of pleasures more than the Most High. Only the elect are going to be following, the laws and the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua in these last days. Because it's going to be a free-for-all here in a little bit. It's going to be open season, so to speak. So, I just want to get into a few more of those things because this shows that, truly these perilous times are upon us for those that have eyes to see and ears to hear. So to the faithful few, to the believers, to the elect, to those women out here who truly do believe in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and are coming back, into order, because the Most High requires a woman to be in order. That's how the woman shows that she loves the Most High, is being in order and being in order under her man. That's how she shows her love. Love to the Most High is obedience, and to reverence Him and to be obedient, to keep His laws and His commandments. That's love to the Most High. And for the woman, that's for her being obedient to her man. So that's the spirit and the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Kahalo Yimla Allah Hayanawa Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of labor faithful in His truth. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Habayath Madabada. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the house of David. And shalom to the Akim and Agwathium. Who listen and believe on Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Shalom.